Hi guys, welcome to Life Before the Living. Um, I know it's been a long time since I posted a video. It's because, okay, one, I changed my job, so I've been like really busy. It's not like where I was last time, and yeah, I've been collecting content and wanting to I haven't had time actually to edit, but then okay, eventually I'm gonna post. Anyway, today I just wanted to give you an update of my situation, where I am right now. For y'all who's been watching news, you know what's been going on in Sudan. And yeah, I've been getting calls and texts. Some of them I've not been able to reply. I'll tell you why. Um, some I'm not actually just able, or I choose not to. But anyway, I've just done a list or a compilation of several questions that people have been asking, and since I can't reply to each and every other person, so and most of the people actually who like ask me questions are just my subscribers here. So one way or another, you're gonna get an answer to the questions that you've been asking. Yeah, so let's get into it. So this whole thing, someone has been asking, so what's happening? So is it a war? Is it all right? So to the best of my knowledge, okay, we have like two factions. We have the military and the paramilitary functions that are like going head to head to each other. I don't want to talk a lot about it here, so that's just what it is. So they are both kind of recognized bodies by the country, so I'll leave it at that. So that's what's happening. Right. What is the situation right now? Okay, today, I'll start from today and then I explain backwards. Today, I woke up as usual to gunfire, but then it's not as intense as it's been the past few days. Yeah, so the situation is kind of a bit what I would call calm, but another I'll put calm in quotes because definitely this is not like the calm thing that we used to. But then, yeah, but actually, less than like 10 minutes ago, I've been hearing like really, lots of shots. But kind of it sounds like you can actually tell the distance based on where you are, like on the decibels, like. So yeah, there's been shots, but then I can tell it's like maybe it's 5 kilometers from here. I'm not so sure, but then it's not as close as to like some of the shots we've been hearing. Now, the worst was I can say like since this whole thing started, because it started last week on Saturday. That was the 15th at exactly 9:10 a.m. And how do I know this? It's because on Saturday I woke up in the morning. I wanted to go and get some supplies, you know, from the supermarket. And like, there's a certain supermarket that I like going to. It's a little bit farther than the one that is around here. I'm still gonna talk about that supermarket that's around here. But then, so I woke up, cleared up, and then I requested for a taxi. And then, just before my taxi came, I saw a cancellation on the taxi. I was like, I didn't understand why. So I tried calling the taxi guy. The guy could not pick. So that was like almost 10 minutes to 9. So I requested for another taxi and I couldn't get through. And then at 9:10, I had shots. At first I just thought it's a wedding or something. Because sometimes in Sudan, like, yeah, I was told sometimes people celebrate with shooting in the air. So I thought that was what was happening. But then from there, things just took like a whole new turn. Like, we started hearing shots and like a lot of shelling, and like, okay, I definitely knew that wasn't the wedding. So, and I still couldn't go out because most deaf, like with that, I didn't know what was happening out there. I didn't know why the taxi wasn't, I couldn't request a cab. So I decided to stay indoors. And then it's only when I texted my job WhatsApp group, that's when like people started saying, yeah, it's bad out there. Like by then we didn't even know what was happening. So generally, and then from there things just escalated, like from just normal shots to air strikes to like, and it was like really really bad and loud. And some of those planes, those fighter jets, like for me back at home, I see them during like holiday, celebration, those national celebration days where there'll be a show of how the Air Force works, whatever. But this was not like a show. This was real. The planes would pass overhead, like where I am, so loud, throw the missiles. But then the goodness is like, or the thing is, the missiles were like being, directed to a certain area. But then the planes would like come all the way to where I am. So yeah, it was loud. So that's what the situation is like. We don't know. Last night is the only day that I was able to like maybe have some sleep, if I would call it that, because I didn't hear a lot of gunfire in the night, or shots, until today morning when they resumed. um, I would say the worst night, okay, because all nights have been like really bad, but then the shootings and the bombings have been like kind of distant that you could tell. But then for the day on Thursday night, from around 11, close to midnight, started hearing like really really loud bombs, and like you could actually tell it's not very far away from where I am. Like literally you could think someone was shooting from like say outside your building or your gate or something. But what was consoling me is like once you know it was shot, a few seconds later you could hear like the second shot, I think where it was landing. There's just a shot that has been fired right now. You could hear where it's landing, so you could actually convince yourself that anyway the shots are being fired away. But then in the other party, like, okay, first of all, they were like so loud and sporadic, and they were like close to each other, like you literally shake, and where you're sleeping you. And then the thing is, okay, let's assume, if I'm consoling myself, that the shots are being fired away to a target that is far away from me. But I'm thinking, what if that target decides to retaliate and send it back this way? I mean, well, that's the situation, but I'm alive and I'm okay. Someone texted me asking, was I aware of such things that's gonna happen? Oh, definitely not. Okay, there've been tensions. Like we've been going to work. There are days where we could be told like tomorrow you're not coming because the situation is not very good. Like there's tension. There were tension, but then nobody thought it would come to this. So like I couldn't tell like exactly it's gonna happen on this day, or this is how it's going to happen. So whatever that is happening, I think it's caught so many people by surprise. So yeah, we were just on high alert that the situation wasn't very good, and there are days where we'd go to work, or we'd go half day, or sometimes we would go and leave early, or we would be sent a text maybe a couple of hours even before we go to work, like don't report in, because there's that's the thing. So, and then I was just writing down the questions that I was getting through, WhatsApp, whatever, so that I can be able. Someone is asking how is surviving for food, water movement, electricity, communication. Okay, those are many points. Like it just requires its own kind of. Now let's talk about water and electricity. Now in this country, it's like water and electricity are like kinda together. In most cases, when you don't have power, you don't have water. And where I am, at least there are 2 days when we didn't have water, and it means we didn't have power, and it was like really really bad. These are the days I would say like I would have like power for a couple of hours and then to go away. And to me it's a good thing for one major reason, or rather two. Anyway, of course with power comes with air conditioning, and but the most important thing is like I had like a lot of frozen food. Okay, let me not say like a lot, but then yeah, a substantial amount of frozen food. And when power was off, you know what happens with food in the freezers. So it's like a lot of my food thawed. But then by sheer luck, again, or let me not say sheer luck, God's grace, power came back and just refroze the food. So I'm like probably trying to eat as much as I can because I don't know what the situation will be like, and I don't want to throw away the food. So that's what we're doing for the food. And now again, how am I getting supplies? For 4 straight days, I couldn't even leave my apartment. So on Thursday, there's just a time I decided, let me go and throw some trash outside because it gotten calm a little bit, and then check if the local shop was open, and no, it was closed. But by the grace of God again, a colleague of mine was able to secure some supplies from their nearby store and then dropped some off to me. So I have some little supplies, some dry food that I can survive on. Yeah, so that covers for food, water, electricity. Anyway, and then again, drinking water, because we buy drinking water, we couldn't get that. So whenever water comes, I boil and just take that. No, it has some aftertaste, but then again, I'm happy to have that and lucky to have it too, because there are people who, since the whole thing started, have not had water, have not had electricity, and I can't imagine how they're, like even what they're going through. So I'm just thankful for what I have right now. When it comes to communication, okay, this is the thing. During such situations, well, it's always good and advisable to keep a low profile, because sometimes you don't know who's listening in, who's tracking the calls. Plus, you're trying to save on the little airtime you have, because yeah, I usually don't do a lot of calls, and especially outside. I just do WhatsApp calls because it's cheaper that way, because it's very expensive to call back at home. So, but then the challenges that we're facing is like getting recharge airtime, for internet and for calls, because I usually I don't have a local bank account. So what I always depend on is like my either buying it from the shops or asking my colleagues who have bank accounts, they buy on my behalf and then I give them cash. And then the app has been down for some time, so yeah, so I'm just surviving on the little I have. But then my colleague has assured me that she is trying, and whenever she can, she's gonna send, yeah, the airtime and electricity too. So yeah, how safe is my area? I would say I've not had incidences where we've had like what I'm hearing from other places where there's looting and whatever. But then yesterday, there's just something that came through the WhatsApp group I've not verified. There's a local supermarket, like I would say half a kilometer from where I am. That yesterday, the one of the other parts, I don't want to make sure which one, I went and looted the supermarket. So okay, I've not been there, so I don't know. So but it's kind of safe, I would say, considering I don't even leave the apartment. And actually, when you look outside the window, it's kind of like really quiet. No one, not many people walking outside. You only see maybe one person after maybe half an hour, an hour. Yeah. So everybody's keeping indoors. Anyways, what is my coping mechanism? I can tell you, I don't even know how the people, maybe the army people or whatever, or people who go to war are trained for this, but nobody trains you for this. The loud voices, I'm spooky. Anything falling, I'm just jerky. I can't say I'm coping. I can sleep, but so the only thing I'm doing is watching a lot of movies. Sometimes just switch off from the news. I just don't want, because literally even whatever that is being reported, I can hear it. I literally firsthand. I can hear the bombs. I can hear the shellings. I can hear the airstrikes. So I try to just shut out. Just try not to get more news in. once in a while I'll just check what's happening, but then that's it. So I try to redirect by watching movies, listening to music, doing some meditation, which is like not really easy because of the noise. So that's my coping mechanism. um are there any hopes? Yeah, I never lose hope. Like once you lose hope in life, so what are you left with? So I'm hopeful that the situation is gonna change. Even though like 3 times there's been calls for ceasefire, and actually the time when the ceasefire is supposed to start, that's when it intensifies. But then I'm hopeful that somehow a solution is gonna be found. Yeah. And what are the evacuation plans? Now, this is the thing. I think when you're working international, like you are not working in your country, it's always good to be safe. And for me, my the only way I'm gonna move from where I am is, one, unless something happens to the building where I am and it's not safe, that's when I can leave. But then I am only going to leave this place under the directive of two, you know, individuals, or say two parties. One, when my employer sees it safe for me to move, because he is the one who houses me, like he pays for my accommodation. So here is where my employer knows where I am in case I lose communication, in case something happens, they know where to find me because they know the apartment. And so is if the Kenyan embassy has a plan and tells us like, now you guys move, because yeah, they're actually organizing stuff, but then still with everything closed, the airport, and it's not safe. So until then, that's when I'll move. So I'm just staying put. It's easier, because otherwise if I'll move with, let's say there's maybe another embassy that has decided to evacuate or move their people or whatever, I can join them. What if something happens? Like how will I be accounted for? So far I'm keeping put. I'm just staying put in my place until the situation. So, and I'm hopeful things are gonna change. I mean, nothing lasts forever. Yeah. So yeah. So that's about the evacuation plans. And then where else? Now there's this one. Okay, see, as I said, these are some of the things that the things I'm addressing are just based on the texts, that people have been dropping, or calls that I couldn't receive, and they would, leave a text. But then some people again are so cruel. Someone would text like, "Why did you decide to take a job up in that country?" We're like, "What do you mean in that country?" I mean, nobody goes into a place knowing it's gonna be, you know, like this. So these are some of the reasons why I'm not even picking texts or replying to texts or picking calls, because some people are just like there to just water down on spirit. So I'm just choosing on what maybe calls to pick, on what text to reply. But then in most cases someone just wants, I have to keep telling the same story over and over again, and it's not funny. So that's why some can't be able to reach me. Or also, I said it's just good to keep a low profile because you don't know who's listening in. So at least today I've had even the courage to just get out of my bed and just come and do this video. Like, I didn't even know I would do it. So it's something on the positive side. So, and I'm hopeful that things are going to change. I had like so many nice videos that I wanted to upload before, which I was still working on them, but then okay, we'll upload them later. But then I think it's most important, first of all, to just give you guys an update of how things are, where I am, how I'm keeping. So like I just woke up like nothing. I'm not and you see the way I'm saying, like when it comes to food, like at first I would take like 3 meals, and then I decided like, wait, at this rate I'm gonna run out of food. So I switched to like 2 meals a day, and I'm thinking like probably depending, I'm gonna do just 1 meal a day as long as I'm able to survive. This is the thing. The only challenge is the thawing of my food in the freezer if there's no electricity. But then if the electricity goes there, at least I can have something to last me like a week, two, something like that. And I think by then things will have changed. So that's what's up, guys. And again, this channel is for the living, so I am still alive. I am keeping well, And I thank you all for those who've been really concerned and texting and not just wanting to know how things are. I'm sorry for those who are like panicking and are not getting a response from me. But then that's how the situation is, and I'll keep you updated as much as I can. I mean, the fact that this is not my like my room. This is just like a spare room where we like chill. Um, so for me even to just come out of my room and come out to this other room to even just do the video, um, to me it's like something on the positive, because I couldn't do that in the beginning because you're just afraid, like, yeah. But for now, I'm okay. I'm high spirit, and thank you for your prayers. For those who are saying we're praying for you, thank you. Prayers, your prayers are working. I have electricity right now. Even if it goes, my food is frozen. At least there's some water right now. So in most cases, what I do is like now, whenever water comes, I have to like get the water boil and then let it cool for drinking, because I can get the stove drinking water. And yeah, it is bad, but then it could be worse. So like what I'm saying is right now it's okay. And for my Muslim brothers and sisters, all I can say is Eid Mubarak. And for those in Sudan, actually, under the circumstances, I know it's not like really happy, but then the fact that you're alive, we thank God. And we all keep safe and keep praying that things gonna change, because especially it's very difficult for us who are like, our families are not here. Sometimes you just have to tackle these things by yourself. You gotta be strong, and yeah, that's what we're doing. So guys, until next time, if I able and get the courage and wherever, like I'll send you an update. But so far so good. I'm keeping well. I'll see you all next time. Bye.